Hi everybody, Brian Blakemore here with the Quattro Motorsports, and I am at my day job, and I wanted to do this episode. This is episode 14, I think. Oh no, this might be 15. 15. Kiki's going to talk a little bit about body doubling and some of the things that she deals with being neurodivergent that helps her stay motivated to keep working on projects like prepping the race truck and things like that. And I deal with the same issues as well of finding motivation. Sometimes it's pretty difficult. So she'll talk about that, and then I'll be back.
Hi friends, it's Kiki. Today's Racetruck Diaries will be a little bit different because, as you can see, I'm at the shop alone. Bryant is at work, and I've come to the shop to do as much that I can do to help him and to get some of the things organized, and also to clear out some space because the Dutch guys are coming in a couple days, actually about a week from now. So we're gonna need a lot of space in the shop because it's gonna get busy. There's gonna be a lot of people working here. So I'm pretty excited about that. But today I would like to talk about something else that isn't just about race prep. You guys may or may not know that I am also neurodivergent. I have ADHD and some Asperger's traits. And I just wanted to share with everyone that today was not an easy day for me. It was hard for me to get out of the house this morning because although I know that there's a lot left to be done at work, at the shop, but because Bryant and I had been working together, nonstop for the past, I don't know, over a week. And we had gotten into that routine where, when we're ready to get going, to leave the house, it's just, okay, let's go, let's get ready and let's get going. So you kind of have another person to help motivate you. Not saying that we're not motivated as individuals, but for people, I can't speak for all neurodivergent people, of course, but for me in particular, it's more fun for me when my partner or the other person that I'm doing a particular task with, is we both have like a common goal. So you kind of just motivate each other without having to say anything, just being in each other's presence or just being near each other. It just has this like invisible push for each other. It was a little bit hard for me to get out of the house as early as we've been doing. The fact that Bryant was at work today, it's like all the routine that we've been doing for the last over a week, it kind of just, like messed things up for me, myself. But I want to share with everybody that there's this thing called body doubling that Brian and I do a lot. So, and it's helpful for a lot of neurodivergent people because it gives you this sense of comfort and that there is someone else doing something with you, or doing something, just someone being in your vicinity and doing things. It might not be exactly the same task, or you might not be doing it together, but you are doing things in the same room or in the same space. And that's what body doubling is. So we've been really productive in the workshop because to have each other's presence, it's kind of hard for you to get off track of things, and you just keep each other motivated. And in that way, body doubling really helps encourage an individual like myself to get my tasks done, because in a way, it's like kind of putting a little bit of pressure on yourself, even though the other person might not be putting pressure on you, but you have a sense of feeling like, oh, I have to get this done because somebody else is relying on me. And being in the same space really encourages each other. So for me today, I just couldn't get motivated. And when you know there's a lot of things waiting for you to get done, sometimes it will hinder the motivation that you want to get going. But eventually I got out of the house after lunch and did a bunch of ran a bunch of errands, came to the shop, did some things, some organizing. Thank goodness for the Texas sun. The days are longer, so I can come to the shop later when it's cooler as well, and it not being too dark outside. So I ended up being able to gather around a lot of the tools that we've been missing. It's just all over the workshop, so I'm gathering it around, and as you can see, the chase truck is here, so I've been putting things in and getting ready. So the chase truck is still, we've got some welding left to do, so that's why it's inside the shop right now. So it's been good that today I've been able to organize and gather some of the tools and start putting it in the chase truck, although I know it's just gonna get all messed up again because there's still a lot of finishing touches. Other than that, it was still a pretty productive day, I think. Oh, I picked up the new shirts today and they look really cool. I guess we will do a unveiling video or a clip in a couple days. But yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit with all of you out there that may or may not be on the spectrum, but a technique to help feel more productive and and help you stay on task. Yeah, basically it's just feeling that comfort of even someone being in the room with you, and it can really help you stay on track. And sometimes body doubling can even be done through, it could be also done through like a video call or a video chat. It doesn't have to be someone being physically there, but just the thought of another person that you trust doing something together, even though it might not be a common task, but doing things individually even, it could really help. I hope that this technique can help some of you out there. I know it helps me a lot, and I need it a lot. Not necessarily talking to me, but just being in the same space is very comforting for me. That's it from me today. Let's see what else Bryant has to say.
All right, thanks to Kiki for talking about those things that affect her. They affect me too, especially on difficult days or days where I know I've got really big tasks to try to complete. I have a hard time getting to the shop and getting started on those things when I'm working by myself. So it's important that we find ways to find that motivation and continue on down the path and keep working. I also wanted to talk a little bit about things that are a time suck in the shop, and like cleaning up and reorganizing tools in between projects and running errands and nuts and bolts and all that kind of stuff. And some of the ways we help mitigate that is, as we're working, putting tools back where they belong. Having two sets of tools in the future will be a big help, to where I don't have to keep pulling things out of the chase truck and putting them in the shop and back in and back out, back in and back out. For nuts and bolts and things like that, I try to plan my projects for the day, not always on paper. If I can, I put them on paper, but I like to make sure that I pay attention to what I'm going to be working on, so that first thing in the morning or the next or the day before, I can go down and buy all the equipment and supplies and tools and things that I'll need to make that project happen for the day, nuts and bolts and whatnot, as best I can. Because leaving the shop, driving across town, trying to source nuts and bolts, wire, paint, things like that, and then driving all the way back to the shop usually involves a stop for lunch or something like that, and then I've wasted 4 or 5 hours of the day trying to get all that done, and it puts the project way behind. So planning ahead is really important as well when trying to prevent those time sucks that happen in the shop when you break your rhythm in the middle of a project and you have to go and do something else. That kind of sucks. But anyway, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching episode 15, talking a little bit about planning your projects ahead, keeping the shop clean as best you can, organizing your tools and equipment as best you can so that you can maintain a steady pace and finding that motivation. Next time, actually tomorrow, well, later this morning, I will be headed back to the shop, and I'm going to try to do a little work on the tuning for the transmission and getting that straightened out and preparing for my gauge that's going to come in that tells me what gear I'm going to be in my trans temp. I have to do some wiring and some mounting for that. It should be in later today, but I'll be back at work by the time it shows up, most likely. And then I'm going to get the truck over to 806 Desert Custom so they can do an alignment on the front end on Friday. So that's what we've got coming up. Thanks for watching this episode. We'll see you all out in the dirt. It is almost time to go. We're close. We're very, very close. And we'll get there and we'll make it happen. So thanks for watching. Catch y'all later on. Bye.